everybody, so today I'm going to be doing a foundation overview. Now I've done one in the past, but I'm really not sure if I still have that up or if I privated that. I'm not positive, but this is going to be a overview on all the foundations that I still have and that I love and have been using. Before I get started, I just want to say really quickly that if my face doesn't look completely covered and flawless, it's because it has been 12 hours since I've applied my makeup this morning and I just got home, so if it looks kind of gross or discolored, because I actually did buy 2 new foundations today, so I will go through those really quickly as well in this video. So first off, I want to say that I do have 2 foundation samples. Now I'm going to go through these first just because they are samples and I just want to give you quick reviews on them. They're the Makeup Forever HD foundation and the NARS Sheer Glow in Stromboli. Now the Makeup Forever, I have it in the shade 127. I'm around an NC25 to an NC35 in MAC depending on the foundation. So really quickly, the NARS Sheer Glow, love this. It's worth the $40 even though it doesn't have a pump. I really was put off about buying this just because I noticed it didn't have a pump for $40. I felt like it should have a pump. I felt like that's more sanitary. It's easier for you to control the amount of product. You're not wasting as much product. I felt like it was good. Stromboli's perfect for my skin. It gives me a nice glow. It's not super oily or shiny looking. It lasts throughout the day pretty nicely, and also it just goes on smoothly. I have normal to dry skin. I only get oily around the T-zone, just around my nose area, just because I have larger pores there, but other than that, I really have normal to dry skin. Goes on really smoothly, and I honestly really like it. I'm more of a matte finish kind of girl, even though I do have more dry skin, but this actually I would go out and buy it even though it has a dewy finish, just because honestly it's more of a satin instead of like a full-on dewy shiny finish. It's more of a satin, so it looks more natural and it just goes on like butter. It's amazing. I love it and I feel like it's worth the $40, but right now it wasn't something that I wanted to get, basically just because of the pump. I probably will purchase this in the future though, so if you ever see me wearing this, this is why. It's because it's amazing foundation. I've only worn it like 3 times, but I absolutely love it. The next one is the Makeup Forever 127 shade. This is the HD foundation. It's an average foundation. I really don't know what I really can say about this just because it has a nice medium coverage. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the NARS one has medium coverage too. You could probably build that up, but it has a pretty standard medium coverage. So the Makeup Forever medium coverage has a demi-matte finish, so it's not super flat and matte, but at the same time it's not overly dewy, overly shiny or shimmery or anything like that. Nothing special about it. It's $40, comes with a pump, so packaging-wise it's amazing, but other than the coverage and the finish, I don't know what I really like about it. It's just an average foundation that I feel like you could get something similar from a drugstore for a lot cheaper. So I'm probably still going to buy this because you'll see I am a foundation junkie. I love foundation. That's my makeup product of choice right now. I used to be super into eyeshadows. Now I'm super into foundation. So I probably will still buy this, but as far as like my first choice on one that I'll wear consistently, it's not one that I really would love. The next ones that I'm going to show you are all my drugstore foundations. Now I have 3 drugstore foundations that I'm going to show you. I have the CoverGirl Clean Oil Control 545 Warm Beige, I think? Yes, 545 Warm Beige. Light to medium coverage in my opinion. Really good shade match for me. I am wearing it today, but again, I kind of swatched other shades on my jawline, so it's not exactly going to do it justice right now. It basically is just designed for oily skin. Really like it. It does give a more satin finish instead of a matte finish, so if you're somebody who wants a matte finish, I wouldn't recommend this. I personally don't like this for a long-lasting foundation. It is nice in the oil control department. It does look very natural on the skin, very lightweight, but I don't know. It's not one that I'm going to repurchase just because I really don't like the coverage. And again, I'm more of a matte finish type of person. I'm not really into that more satiny finish. So I would say that if you're somebody who wants a light coverage, lightweight, really inexpensive, nice color range, and also they have this for different skin types as well. So if you're looking for a good drugstore foundation, I would recommend this even though it doesn't come with a pump. The next 2 are the Maybelline Superstay, and I have this in Classic Beige. Again, I don't know if I mentioned that, but I like this. It's really nice, medium to full coverage, demi-matte finish. really nice on the skin, little bit heavy, not super lightweight on the skin, but it works amazingly to the point where I still use it. It's really inexpensive too, since it is a drugstore foundation, and even though it doesn't come with a pump, I still really like it. And it does last pretty long as well. Rimmel Match Perfection Foundation, dewy finish, not super high coverage. I would say it's a light to, I guess, almost medium coverage, depending on what you're trying to hide. It doesn't hide redness that great, but as far as evening out your skin tone, hiding little imperfections here and there, it does work out nice. So I would say you could probably build this up to almost a medium finish, not quite, but a light coverage is mainly what it's at. Really inexpensive. I got this actually for $3 at my local drugstore. Nice shade range, not super fantastic. I don't think it lasts super long. Unless you have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this. And again, it doesn't come with a pump. The fact that it's more targeted towards dry skin means it's super liquidy. So it's supposed to be very lightweight, very liquidy, very blendable. I just say don't try it unless you have super dry skin. I don't think you would love it. Plus the shade range is kind of hard to find a color match. This one is actually slightly dark. This would work better for me in summer, but it's the only one with yellow undertones that I could find in a medium skin tone range. The next foundations that I have here, I'm going to start off with my two that I just got today. The two I got today are the MAC Matchmaster foundation, and I have it in the shade 4.0. So it's supposed to be a foundation that will blend into your skin tone. It's supposed to be good for a range of undertones and also a range of skin tones. So I have this in 4.0. Like I said, I'm between NC25 and NC35 depending on the foundations. I can get up to an NC35 in summer, but I'm normally around, say, an NC25 during the winter and spring months. I haven't really worn this out, so I really can't say. It's supposed to be a demi-matte finish. It's supposed to last pretty well as far as everybody has said in reviews that I've seen. It's $33, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it comes with 35 milliliters versus the standard 30 milliliters that all the other MAC foundations have. So I would say if you're having a hard time finding a foundation match, this might be good for you because it's supposed to really blend into your skin if you're within a certain grouping of skin tones. So if I change my mind about how this works, or if I have more in-depth type of review, I will do a separate video for that, but basically just a little synapse of what I think of this so far. The Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15 foundation, I have it in NC25. I tried it in a little sample by MAC in NC35. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see like a difference in color. You probably can't, but NC25 looks a lot lighter. If you can see, compared to the Matchmaster, it looks a lot lighter. Honestly, the only one that really matched me. This one tends to oxidize on people because of the powder product or the powder ingredient in it. So I say go 1 to 2 shades lighter than you are expecting you would be, or that you normally are in MAC foundations, just because, again, it does tend to oxidize. Really love the coverage. Other than the color in this one, when I tested this out, love the coverage, love the finish, absolutely amazing foundation. Didn't like the color. So I'm hoping that this will work out better for me. I do have it a little bit here on like the bottom of my jaw. Not really going to do it justice right now, but I will do a separate review on this and how it wears and everything like that. They recommend this for oily skin types, so if you're somebody with a more combination to oily skin type, I would say try this out if you want a really full coverage, because this is full coverage. Honestly, the most full coverage foundation I've ever tried. The next ones are also by MAC. I have the Pro Longwear Foundation in NC30, and I love this. Lasts forever, medium coverage. I don't think you can build it up to a full coverage without it getting cakey, but it's a good medium coverage. Lasts forever. It's supposed to last 15 hours, and I honestly believe it does. It really helps control oil, makes it look matte, doesn't look overly cakey, doesn't feel overly heavy. Really, really, really good foundation from MAC. If you're only going to be able to get one foundation from MAC, I would say this because it works for a range of skin types. I have normal to dry skin and it still looks fantastic on me. I honestly love it. So I would say just try it out if you're in the market for a MAC foundation. Last MAC foundation I almost have every MAC liquid foundation, I believe, other than like the I don't have Face and Body because I don't have a MAC store near me, but I actually have the, I believe, mineralized skin finish and then the select SPF one. I think those are the only two that I haven't tried out yet, but I heard they're pretty light coverage, so I really don't think those are ones that I wanted to try out. The one that I have here is NC30 in the Studio Sculpt. I like it. A little bit more of a dewy finish. It has shea butter and things like that in it to help kind of moisturize your skin, more targeted to dry to normal skin people. So if you have oily skin, wouldn't recommend it. It will slip slide everywhere throughout the day. Doesn't always feel like it's set, so you still kind of, even after you put a powder, you still feel almost like a sticky finish to it. Really nice though. It does cover pretty nicely. I like it. Not one I would repurchase though, so that you have to take into consideration. Is it great enough for me to want to repurchase it, even though I have all these foundations and even though I am trying out all these different products? Ones that I do feel like I will repurchase are like the Lancome one that I'll explain in a minute, Maybelline Superstay, the MAC Pro Longwear I will definitely repurchase, love it. Other ones such as the Rimmel Match Perfection, the CoverGirl Clean, and this Studio Scope would not repurchase. Another one I would not repurchase, Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation, Beige Ivory. Great coverage, great coverage. More of a cream foundation instead of a liquid foundation, even though it comes in like a liquid foundation type of bottle. More of a cream. I really don't know what I can say other than it has a great coverage. I really don't know what I can say. It's a, I would say, satiny, like to demi matte finish. It's not super dewy or anything like that. It goes on really nicely. Not really into cream foundations. That's probably my only thing about it. Plus, color matching is really hard in this foundation. I don't think this one matches me perfectly well. It is a little bit light for me, so I'm not sure if this is one I would repurchase. Plus, it's really expensive. It does come with 1.8 fluid ounces, so 35 fluid ounces, which are, or 35 milliliters, which is the same as the MAC Matchmaster. But honestly, other than the coverage, it's not super great, not super horrible, but it doesn't last super long. It tends to transfer. The only ones that I really don't find that any of them don't transfer at all. If you press hard enough or if you get oily enough, they will eventually transfer, all of them, even like Pro Longwear or the Superstay, which are supposed to be long-lasting foundations. So I just say try it out on your own skin. If you have more dry to normal skin, it will transfer a lot less. If you have oily skin, set each and every one of these foundations with a powder. I recommend setting them all with a powder. They will help it last a lot longer. Don't really recommend it unless you have super dry skin, just because, I don't know, it's just not my favorite. For $40 or $42, not really worth it in my opinion. But I like it. I will use it up. Will not repurchase. That's basically all I can say. I really don't have much to say about this one. The Lancome Tint Idol Ultra is my last foundation, I believe. Honestly, one of my favorite foundations. If I had to pick out of the ones that I've used, now I'm not going to pick Studio Fix Fluid or the Matchmaster because I just purchased them, but out of the ones that I've used on daily basis, I would recommend out of all of these three. The MAC Pro Longwear, the Maybelline Superstay for Drugstore, and then the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra. Again, I have this in Buff 3N. It's a little bit too neutral for me. I tend to run more yellow undertone, but color match is actually pretty good, other than it tends to be a little bit more of a neutral undertone instead of the yellow. I think I need Buff, I think it's like Buff 4 or something like that. I forget what it is. It's like 1 or 2 shades from this, but it's a yellow undertone, which works a lot better because it's the same tone, just a yellow undertone. Really like it. Lasts forever. Great coverage, medium to full coverage. Demi-matte finish, so it's not super flat and matte, but at the same time, it's not dewy or shimmery. Really like it. $42 to $44, I don't remember. Comes with a pump. Comes with a pump. Absolutely love the pump. Really easy to control. Really slim, nice packaging. Honestly, out of all of the high-end foundations, out of all of the low-end foundations, this was my first high-end foundation that I loved. This was the first foundation that I said I will definitely repurchase. Maybelline Superstay, I've just recently figured out how to make it work for my skin, but out of everything else, this is the only one that lasted long on me and that looked most natural on me. So I would really recommend this if you're in the market for a foundation. But I think I've talked pretty much forever now. It's almost like 15 minutes in my viewfinder, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. This gives you a quick little review on a whole bunch of different foundations. The only one I really couldn't review super great is the MAC Match Master, just because I really haven't tried it out yet. So if you want a review on the MAC Match Master, please leave a comment below and I will do a separate video review on that. If there's any foundation here that I showed that you want a full, complete review showing you like coverage, showing you a demo, showing you price, packaging, going through every little bit that I can find on the foundation and give you every bit of information I can, please comment below just telling me which foundation you want a review of, and I promise that I will do a review on each and every one that you guys request, just because I want to make sure that you guys find one that you like. Now, I'm somebody who buys a whole bunch of different foundations, even if they're not necessarily targeted towards my skin type, even if they're not necessarily in my price range. I personally love foundations and I will try any one that you guys recommend me. So if you have any recommendations, please comment below. I know that you guys don't want to buy all these different types of foundations, so I will try my best to get reviews out to you guys, just because I know that the average person, I would say, that wears foundation only wants maybe a summer color and a winter color. They want just maybe one or two that they'll wear throughout the year. But me, for my videos, for just everyday use, I tend to really like having different foundations because I like to have different finishes, different coverages, different lasting powers, anything like that. I just like having a variety, so I tend to buy a whole bunch of different foundations. You don't have to, which is why I want to get reviews out to you guys, so you guys can get reviews on products and you can try to choose which one that will work best for you. One quick tip before I go, because it's already 16 minutes and I just don't want to take forever in this video, but get samples. I really recommend getting samples. I'm personally somebody where if you really are against samples, buy the foundation. They are returnable. I know MAC and Sephora have really good return policies. Drugstore foundations, I can't speak for. I never tried to return a drugstore foundation because me and a lot of my family are the same skin tone, so if I don't like it, someone in my family will like it. So I would say drugstore foundation, you probably are just going to have to buy one, try to get one on a sale. A lot of drugstore foundations tend to be on sales, but other than that, I would say, honestly, if you're really against buying samples, just buy the foundation. You can always return it. I believe MAC's return policy is that it can't be more than halfway done and it has to be within 60 days. So as long as you have the receipt, you can always return this within 60 days. So that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I will answer it. This is a makeup product that I want to make sure all of you guys get full reviews, full questions answered, everything before you purchase, because they can be expensive. I know $40 on a foundation when you can really it really only lasts like maybe 2 months, 3 months, depending on how much you use it. I would say really try to look into it, really review or read reviews and watch reviews on a product before you spend that amount of money on a product. So that's it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everybody.